Do you love Batman?
Do you love Frasier?
Do you love Seinfeld?
Do you love Dr. Seuss?
Do you love James Bond?
Do you love Captain America?
Oh, hell, do you just love everything that's nerd-related?
I know I do.
Well, you should come on over to a Nerd's World podcast and listen to us, Justin and Andrew, talk everything that's nerd.
Yeah, every 2 weeks, we delve into some random topic that we choose at the end of each episode, and we tell you the whole history of it, or as much as we feel the need to write down, our history of it, and our favorite things about it.
So come on over to a Nerd's World,
wherever you listen to podcasts.
Welcome everyone to Pod and Gore, your one-stop shop for everything horror. Now here's your hosts, Justin and Brandon. Take it away, boys.
Hello everybody and welcome to Pod and Gore. My name is Justin.
My name is Brandon.
And welcome to the show.
Yes.
I'm so happy and excited to be here today.
Well, it'd be weird if you didn't start out an episode saying that I'm excited to be here today.
You know what?
It's been one of those days.
Why do you have to suck out all the joy in the room?
Oh, now you know what it feels like to be in a room with you.
Touche. But this one's my pick,
Yep.
So obviously I'm even more excited, and I've decided that we need to play a little game with Saw.
I'm excited to talk about this, I guess.
Good? Question mark?
Right. Yeah.
Voice going up and implying a question? Not sure of what I'm saying or what you'll respond with?
You know you can't put a question mark at the end because he's always going to read it like that. So yeah, I actually,
Ron Burgundy.
Thanks for stopping by. Stay classy. Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah, but I do like this movie. I know it sounds like I don't, and there are reasons why I like to give it shit, but
Sure, and we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, we definitely will.
Mm-hmm.
You go ahead and start us out because, like I said, I forgot my scorecard, so I got to improvise.
What an idiot!
Hey, get fucked, okay?
Well, maybe if there's time after the show.
No, I gotta go home
Directed by
immediately.
Not anymore.
Oh.
It was directed by James Wan, written by Lee Winnell, and starring Carrie. I always say Elwes.
I say Elwes.
Okay. Elwes.
Elwes.
Danny Glover, Monica Potter, Michael Emerson, Shawnee Smith, and Tobin Bell. It was released at Sundance January 19th, 2004, and in theaters October 29th, 2004.
I had no idea it was a Sundance movie.
Boom. Well, I mean, it was a little independent thing, and they shot...
Well, it does. It feels like it, too, when you watch it.
Yeah, and they shot, like, a tester version of it.
Well, yeah, it was a short.
Yeah, short.
Because Lee Winnell was in that, and he played a guy named David.
Right. And then they shot the real one.
Right.
That was what we see now. So
Okay.
there.
Fine.
Boom.
God, okay. No, I'm just kidding.
It had a budget of $1.2 million, and it made $103.9 million.
No.
So it was pretty successful,
So
I would
it's safe
say.
to say it made the monies.
More or less, enough to make like 8 in 8 years.
You know what? I know that we're talking
7.
about... Well, no,
There's 8 now. But
Yeah, there's 8
7
now,
in 7
but-
years. And then anyway.
Right, but still, I know we're just talking about the first one, but like when you think about franchises with movies, you know, your Halloweens, your Nightmares, your Friday the 13th. To me, I honestly, and I mean, there's probably a few that you can get critical on, but I think with the Saw movies, they maintain this like certain level throughout the majority of them. They don't really dip too bad. It's not like...
No, I mean, there are some that are more enjoyable and watchable than others, but,
Right, but
with 7 movies, that's going to be the case anyway.
Right, there's no Jason Takes Manhattans in there.
And that's the thing. It's quality over quantity, whereas the others are just quantity.
Well, yeah, like
and
what you were...
quality dips after like 5.
Right, and when, you know, quick plug for your other show, when you're talking about Friday the 13th, you know, they pumped them out.
Yeah.
Like, it's like how, like, you wrote, shot, cut, put out a movie in a year's time, maybe a little bit longer, given...
Which is more or less what Saw did, but I think what's nice about Saw is that they constructed a vehicle in which you can do that easily.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things, I was going to get to it later, but one of the things that ended up loving about this movie and this franchise is I love the idea of an entire movie taking place in one room. I know there's cutaways and shit in this one and whatnot, but like a Buried, a Sunset Limited, kind of venturing out of the horror genre. The idea of an entire film taking place in one location is awesome when you can pull that off. And that's one of the things I loved about Saw, and it also helps it only cost $1.2 million to make.
Right, yeah, dude, that is such a low budget for a movie, and there was just more than The Room.
Yeah,
surprisingly enough, with that low of a budget, because like seemingly now with like I can't imagine being able to do all that on just $1 million.
Yeah,
and then still be able to do everything else.
I left off here. James Wan and Lee Whannell wanted to write and fund a film inspired by the Blair Witch Project, of all things, and Darren Aronofsky's Pi. They thought the cheapest script to shoot would involve 2 characters in one room. Enter plug for the thing I just said.
Right.
The character of Jigsaw did not come until months later when Whannell was working at a job he was unhappy with and began having migraines. Convinced it was a brain tumor, he went to a neurologist, and while sitting in the waiting room, he thought, what if you were given the news that you had a tumor and you were going to die soon? How would you react to that? And then he imagined the character Jigsaw having been given 1 or 2 years to live, and combined with the idea of Jigsaw putting others in a literal version of that situation.
Right.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Another part of the big hook of this entire franchise, especially for me, was the story. Because once you get to 3 and you go, oh, this is what this is about,
yeah,
it carries the franchise.
It does. It does. Definitely.
Thank you. Glad you agree.
You're welcome.
Well, the first 2, it's torture porn and it's fun and it's gory and it's cool, and all the horrible ramifications for creating that in the horror genre that came after aside, the reason it lasted, and I think the reason why none of the other torture porn movies have, is because the story that is constructed, even from
there's
the
a
first
relatability too, because you can kind of sympathize with what he like. I mean, he's doing some real fucked up things, but like you're like, oh, you can almost be like, I kind of see why he's doing that. Yeah, even though it's obviously not the way you'd want to go about it.
Right.
But like there's a sympathy for him.
Yeah, the late great Stan Lee once said that great villains are not black and white, they're gray.
Right.
If you can relate to someone, you care even more.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm going to get back to my notes that I can't find where I was at there. In order to help studios take interest in the script, Whannell provided a $5,000 to make a 7-minute short film based on the script's jaw trap scene. Whannell played David, the man wearing the reverse bear trap, and Wan shot the short film with a 16mm camera in over 2 days and transferred the footage to DVDs to ship along with the script.
Oh, well, shit. Well, it's almost like, you're kind of like setting up your own little highlight reel, kind of like what some athletes will do when they're like, hey, check out, my highlight reel. Let me make this
how they
real.
do with highlight reels where they say, look at my highlight reel. That sounds like a Rick and Morty line.
It's my highlight reel. I'm Pickle Rick.
Really, your name is Ghost Train, and you use... Hey, everybody, the Ghost Train guy is going to use a ghost train.
Okay. What the... You had me, then you lost me.
You don't remember that one?
No.
Vindicators 3? From...
Okay. Yep,
oh, it's
never
a
mind.
great one.
It is.
It's one of the best. Carrie Elwes was sent the short film on DVD and immediately became interested in the film. Taking the role of Jigsaw, of course, is Tobin Bell, who is amazing and in everything, by the way.
Yeah, it's just, and he's got that voice too, where it's almost like the voice actor for Ghostface in Scream.
Yeah,
like I always thought that was like a legit actual synthesizer that he used. Right, but I guess that's his voice. I don't know if it's
play a game.
I don't know if it's doctored up a little bit because I mean
it might be a little,
but it's still like holy shit.
Yeah. It is holy shit, Brandon. It is.
Is it though?
No.
Okay.
In taking the role of Jigsaw, Tobin Bell said, I did Saw because I thought it was a fascinating location for a film to be made. These guys locked in a room to me was fresh. I did not anticipate the ending when I read the script, so I was quite caught by surprise, and it was clear to me that if the filmmakers shot the scene well, the audience would be caught by surprise as well. The film was worth doing for that moment alone. I agree. That moment makes the film, and we'll get to it when we're actually talking about the movie.
Right.
But what's funny is, so this movie came out when I wasn't watching horror movies. Like, I was just kind of off them. They started to give me nightmares when I was young, and I was just like, I don't want to watch them anymore.
Right.
So a friend of mine told me what Saw was and told me what happened. And so technically I already knew what the ending was, and yet seeing it still caught me by surprise, and it was still such a brilliant move that I was like, oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah, like I get
and
it.
so I watched the rest.
So I was watching this again on Rabbit last night with a couple people, and my buddy's like, so this movie got spoiled for me, like right out the gate. So he's in the movie theater watching the movie for the first time. A guy stands up, and he's like, the guy on the floor is the killer, and then walks out the theater.
What a dickhead.
That's
like Snape kills Dumbledore. Like,
what?
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Spoilers. I forgot to say
Motherfucker,
spoilers.
man. Can't even finish.
You don't even know what movie I was talking about.
I don't.
Really? Oh, that makes me sad. I lost
You
my
know
spot
goddamn well I know what movie that is.
I would hope so. Otherwise,
a-
you're going to have to get kicked out of the house.
I was at Best Buy before I came over, and I took a picture because I might try to talk the wife into letting me get the 4K box set. It's like $115 fucking dollars, but it comes with digital, which is what I want.
That's nice.
Yeah.
How much is it to just buy the digital movies?
I haven't looked.
You should do that.
Should I?
Do you own them otherwise?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, that would do it too.
Yeah, no, you talked about letting me borrow them so I could try to scan them for my voodoo at home.
We could.
Yeah. All right, we'll get back on topic. This is not a Harry Potter episode, guys.
Not at all.
I'm
Maybe
sorry.
next time. In post-production, Juan found he did not have enough shots or takes to work with, as he was basically shooting rehearsals. So having a lot of missing gaps in the final product, he and editor Kevin Grutert, so I'm going to say that name, created shots to mend together during editing, such as making a shot look like a surveillance camera feed and using still photographs.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Clever.
I thought so. Some fun facts before we get into the meat of the show.
Holy shit, you definitely flew through that.
There's not, it looked like a lot of stuff, but it's, when
That
you
was the same
say
thing with
it.
Halloween last week. I had fucking 13 pages, and we went through it in like 30 minutes.
So Saw began principal photography on September 22nd, 2003 at Lacey Street Production Facility in Los Angeles. The shoot took only 18 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that gets that kind of, sorry, yawn there. You're like, huh?
Yes.
Continue, please. Well, I guess 18 days on $1 million budget, just breeze through it.
Well, the fact that with $1 million they were able to get Glover and Elvis, it's pretty nice too. It was theatrically re-released on October 31st, 2014 to celebrate its 10th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
That wasn't for you, bud.
One of the original ideas for the film was to have two men stuck in an elevator and shot from the perspective of the security cameras. Glad they didn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't need to see Devil again. That movie sucked.
You know what? I never saw that because I was told so many times it was bad that I just never watched it. And it looks like it's pronounced Elwis.
Elwis. So we were close. If not right on the money.
Fair
I don't remember.
I didn't know that guy. He was from London. All right, continue.
Yeah. Full Disclosure Report is a 2005 mockumentary pseudo-documentary set in the Saw franchise, taking place between the events of Saw and Saw 2, around 1 year after the beginning of the Jigsaw murders, following television host Rich Skidmore as he commentates on the murders and the police work in the yet unresolved case. Donnie Wahlberg appears as Detective Eric Matthews prior to his appearance in Saw 2.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I don't know where that is or how to watch it.
I would like to see it.
I would too. All the bathroom scenes were shot in chronological order to make the actors feel more what the characters were going through.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't hear that a lot, though. Things being shot in order.
Yeah. Because usually it has to deal with, location availability, budget constraints, lighting, and the fact that it's all inside helps.
Yeah, and I guess if you definitely want to try to get, doing it that way, trying to putting them in that mindset, they've been in there from that to that, and
And it helps with continuity.
Yeah.
So you don't have that little thing was over here, and now we have to shoot this again because it's different. The last thing, pretty impressive, the most profitable horror films of all time.
All of them?
Yes. Well, this one was one of the most profitable horror films of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I mean, again, with a budget of $1 million and made $100 million.
Yeah, that's a lot of profit to be had.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the whole thing. That's the whole kit and caboodle.
Damn, dude, you breezed through that about half as fast as it took me to get through Halloween. So
that's what I do.
Is it though? You fucking did that on purpose, man. So
yeah.
So if you didn't know by now, Justin and I work together, and I went up to him the other day, and I was like, "Hey, dude." Ooh, what was that noise?
I don't know.
Sound like you bumped your fucking mic.
I don't think I was squeaked in my chair.
Oh no, I heard like a little.
If I did, I didn't notice it.
Yeah, of course not.
Well, it's 1 for 7.
2. You've done it twice now. I hate you. You totally threw off my groove there.
Oh darn.
No, so I went up to him the other day, and I'm like, I was going back and listening to our Halloween episode, because I'm that guy that listens to all of our episodes just to, make sure that things sound all right. They don't sound, quality, all that kind of shit. And I was like 10 minutes in, and I started to lose track of how many times Justin's like, well, that's what I'm here for. And so now it's kind of like a thing that he just has to run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
You said it so I didn't have to. Isn't that nice? So let's get into the crux of this. The first note I have is the Twisted Pictures logo.
Mine too. I said I always loved that.
I did too. I don't know if it's been used for anything else.
Well, no, because it's awesome. It's like you don't see.
Well, I don't know if Twisted Pictures if that's just exclusively they do Saw.
I'm not sure, but
else.
While you talk about it, I'll look it up. Yeah, dude, I always thought that the way that it popped up and the barbed wire, and then it spun it around and scratched it out. I was like, dude,
and all the barbed wire stuff, or pointy vines or whatever the hell.
Right.
Snaps and breaks away, and then you see all the scratch marks on the logo and shit. And that coupled with the Lionsgate logo, for whatever reason, it's like seeing the 20th Century Fox logo for Star Wars.
Or, no, I was also going to say the Dimension in the Scream.
Yeah,
I like that.
I mean, for whatever, or New Line with the Nightmare. There's just certain ones where it's like, this makes it feel more complete. Okay,
so just real quick, there has only been there's been let's say a dozen. So, wow.
Thank you.
They fucking, okay, dude. Well, not you. Okay, so they did Saw 2, Saw 3, Dead Silence, Saw 4, Catacombs, Saw 5, Repo, the Genetic Opera, Saw 6, The Tortured, Saw 3D, Vlog, Catch Hell, Submerged, Havenhurst, Jigsaw, and the upcoming The Organ Donor. But, dude, you're not fucking kidding about the budget. Okay, so, yeah, Saw 1.2, grossed 1.3, well, 1.4. Saw 2, 4 million, 147.7 million. Saw 3, 10 million, 165 million. Yeah. That is so much fucking profit.
Oh, that's the beauty of these movies.
Saw 4, 10 million, 139 million. Fucking Saw 5. It starts to go down a little bit, but...
Well, so do the movies, but...
Yeah, Saw 6, 11 million to make it, only made $68 million. That's still profit, though.
Yeah. That's the beauty of horror movies in the first place, is they're cheap and make money. That's why studios make them. It helps them finance their bigger budget things. Okay, so yeah, Saw 3D was a $20 million budget, made 136.
so that's back on track. And then Jigsaw by the Spierig brothers was 10 million, and then it did gross over 100 million, so 103.
Yeah, so I mean they're locking in almost 100 million profit.
Yeah.
Almost every time.
Almost every movie, and then the ones that don't are carried by the ones that
do.
Very much so did.
Yeah, and as far as the other movies, the only other one that rang a bell was Repo.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Like, I know Dead Silence, that's the one.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, you're not missing out.
Fair enough. Have you seen Repo?
Yeah, I think I have.
Okay. We might have to do that soon.
If you do it, I'll watch it again.
Yeah,
I remember.
that's awesome.
I don't know if I saw that, because there's two Repo movies. There's like there's the
shitty
opera.
one with Jude Law, and
That's
then there's
one
the
I know I've
musical.
seen that one.
That one's bad.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, comparatively, yes. It's
Okay.
fine, but compared to the musical,
Right. I'm not a
good.
musical guy, man. I fucking hate musicals, dude.
well, you're gonna really hate my next pick. So the bathtub key down the drain in the pitch black bathroom, I think, was a really cool way to open everything up.
I did too. I was said literally screwed from the beginning.
Well, yeah, and it's like, part of me goes, well, he was fucked no matter what, but then I go, well, if he hadn't panicked,
But who's not going to panic?
I know, but if he hadn't, and he
Right.
had just kind of woken up and not freaked out or just like sat up
And then saw that,
and saw it, he could have grabbed it and they would have been fine.
right? But they knew that would never, ever happen.
Yeah.
So remember, kids, if you ever get kidnapped,
Yeah, don't freak
panic.
out.
Don't
Don't
panic
panic
and look
until
around.
you... Well, and the key even had a light on it, too.
It did.
So it's like, even in the dark, he would have been fine.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. It's sad, but true.
So it's like, if he had... I mean, and that's the thing, though, is waking up in water, you automatically go, oh, shit, I can't breathe because I'm underwater.
Right?
But,
I don't think that I would be able to. I think I would have done the exact same
Oh,
thing.
definitely.
If we're being honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally, just it sucks so bad because it's like literally your fighting chance is literally like a 0.2 chance of actually being in your favor.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna not freak out waking up in a fucking tub of water.
Well, and you know, but the thing is, and it's one of the things I like about the franchise, is that there's always a way for you to get out. It's gonna suck
Yeah.
sometimes more than others,
Which,
but there
those
is
are,
a way.
and those are later on where you're like, oh, they're starting to make traps that aren't survivable.
Yeah, but
like
that's also the point too.
right. No, I get that. But yeah, they're generally supposed to be teach you a lesson.
Yeah, and then you survive it in theory, and you're forever scarred with the reminder of.
Yeah,
the
and
thing
then
you
you become
should have done.
a henchman.
Well, sure,
You're like,
five
oh.
times out of 6.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I get what he's doing here. It's now my life's work as well.
It did happen like 5 times. Yeah.
Yeah. My next note that I wrote from that is Lee Whannell. He is kind of a shitty actor.
Yeah.
He now writing, I'll give him a pass
Yeah.
because did craft the story. The dialogue may have been hit or miss,
Sure.
but
It's a brilliant idea.
the concept is great. His execution and I mean, Carrie's he's not exempt from this either because there's
No.
a few times he reached as well, but like.
There are times where he's really good, and then there are other times where he just hits such strange octaves for no reason.
Right.
That you just go, well, don't act.
Yeah, and I mean,
Just
obviously, he's, writer, director.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to write and direct something, if I could put myself in it, be like, hey, why wouldn't I, just run the gamut here?
Let's see. I got lights on and 2 guys chained in a bathroom. I mean, it's a disturbing image, and it's something that, in a way, kind of resonates. I mean, we've all been in a bathroom, except for maybe you, and the idea of just being alone, locked in a disgusting ass room.
That room was gross as shit.
Yeah, and on purpose.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later, but and you're stuck there chained to a pipe with one other dude who's also chained to something on the other side of the room, and it's like, this is just fucking frightening.
Well, yeah, and the funny thing is too, I know we're kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but it does crack me up because it's like you generally would maybe try to think about working together to find a way to get out, and they do attempt to do that, but at the same time, they're just like, they have the same trust level in each other as I do with you.
Oh,
and so
that's the problem. Okay. I totally get it now.
right.
See, I bumped into that a couple times too, and even Gordon says, like, can we just fucking work together and maybe we can come up with a solution?
Well, I mean, as we know later on, we find out why that he's kind of being sketchy fuck about it.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, dude, definitely, like, hey, Justin,
Yeah.
stop being a fuckface and work with me here. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I don't. That's the
I
thing.
don't fucking like you.
I just hate you so much.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, even knowing that Adam knows more about Lawrence, like, wouldn't you try and just be congenial so that he doesn't find out what you know? Get out of the damn room and separate?
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, now put yourself in his position, and I would be Dr. Gordon. Like, if you were following me around taking pictures because somebody hired you, and we
Who
ended
says
up...
I'm not, you know?
Okay, but I mean, in that situation, would you? And we woke up like that. Would you tell me like, "Hey, dude, I've been following you, taking pictures"?
No, and I wouldn't tell you that part, but he doesn't need to either.
Right, but I mean, it kind of adds to him coming off so like. I don't want to say
I'm with
sketchy.
you. Like their explanation works perfectly fine.
Right.
But in a rational world, which these horror movies never really live in a rational world,
More often than not.
you
yeah.
go, well, I mean, it's like, just go out the front door. Don't go up the stairs.
But come on, man, the killer's down there.
Is he, though?
Yeah. Yeah, the thing I thought was kind of funny because, like, you know, they wake up, they turn the light on. Dude stays like, hey, what am I even doing in here? Like, what's going on? Yeah. You know, like,
Over here.
Like, in the
Why don't
funny,
you
I wrote
forget
down, I was
about
like,
it?
he's like, basically the way that Dr. Gordon's acting, he's like, dude, nobody's going to fucking hear you. Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm already tired of your voice. Like, I don't want to hear it
did
anymore.
all the stupid shit you're doing now. Just shut up. And I did it in the dark. So.
Oh, man.
And then there's the body in the middle of the room.
Right. I wrote down because I thought it was hilarious. He's like, what are you, a surgeon? And he's like, well, yeah.
And also, he knows that.
That literally just clicked with me just now. Like, what the... You wrote the movie. God damn it.
And why so specific?
Yeah.
How about doctor?
Hey, what are you, a fucking neurosurgeon?
Who worked on the patient John, and he has that
Yeah.
medical tech Zep? Are you a guy like that?
How do you come up with the name Zep? Never mind.
Drugs.
But yeah, so...
Lots of drugs.
Yeah, what are you, a surgeon? Like, that didn't even click with me, and like, and that just makes me even more mad.
Yeah. I mean, any horror movie, any movie really has its things that you can nit the shit out of. And especially a first one in a franchise like this, but...
Right, and like he's like, it was an indie.
Yeah.
It wasn't like some big budget. Not that saves it from it.
No, but you know, you would think someone would be like, really? He knows he's a surgeon.
Yeah, but I
Like-
mean, if I didn't want you to know that I knew, it's exactly what I would say.
Is it though?
I'm like, what are you, an inventory?
Maybe. No.
Mind your own business.
Yes. And then the brand new clock so they know what time it is. It's a little bit like pointing out the factoids of the room, and it gets a little...
Well,
meh.
but I mean, at the same
But-
time, like, you're noticing the details, being like, hey, that's a new clock.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously want us to know what time it is.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, putting the two and two together, like, I didn't find that cheesy at all. Like,
No.
it makes sense because it's like, this is all about clues to a game, and if you're not smart enough to pick up on them,
You're screwed anyway.
yeah, you're screwed anyway.
And I love the details because especially when you watch it like a second go around, or for me about the 29th go around at this point.
I've seen it a few times.
You notice the clock before they notice the clock. You notice the heart on the toilet before they notice the heart on
Right.
the toilet, and it's nice.
Yeah, so I when they're starting to notice all the things, and you know they're reaching in, still got that shaky foundation,
Mm-hmm.
like being all weird about it.
And they find the cassettes in the pockets.
Right, exactly. And then I wrote down, the sketchy teamwork. So like, they finally figure out, like, hey, let's go ahead and because he's like, I'm gonna throw my shirt at it and see if I can pull it over to me with a.
Because that'd work.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, it works every time. So he reaches in, grabs the stopper, which is a good idea.
Yeah.
It might have taken me a little bit longer to come to that, but I also didn't write the movie.
Sure.
So
He knows how it ends.
right. So he threw it out there and he gets it. But the whole time when he's doing that, this is like the time that I think Dr. Gordon annoys me the most, because he's so like, come on,
do it.
You do it. You get it. And I wrote down, I was like, I would tell Carrie Elwes to calm the fuck down and
I'll
like
get it when I get it.
Yeah, we're
Your
not
yelling
going
isn't
anywhere,
gonna
guy.
make this
yeah,
easier.
We're not in a hurry.
And he gets it after like try 2.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah. You didn't have to wait long. He's like, yeah.
Get
Did you get one? Hey, come on. Yeah.
By the way, we love this movie.
We do. It's just I think that's kind of like the thing that I like about the show is that, like, I know it sounds stupid, but I'm that guy that will laugh at his own jokes. And so, like, when I go,
someone should.
Yeah. And so, like, there will be times where I'll be listening back to it, and I disconnect the fact that it's me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, there'll be some times where, like, with the aliens, I would listen to the episode, wasn't my favorite, and it took me a little bit to get through it. So it's like, I generally try to take those things, be like, hey, what helps the flow, what doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is killing it. Then to, hear something that I say that makes me laugh.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Tugs with the old ear strings. So they get the tape player. I like that he's smart enough to be like, no, I'm not going to throw the tape player, you stupid dick. Throw me the tape.
Well, I almost kind of think that was kind of almost like, no. He's like, throw me the thing. He's like, no, I'm not going to fucking give it to you. And then he's like, I don't want you to break it. And it's like, nice fucking save, you weasel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's shifty from the get-go, and later on when he finds the saws and the turlet,
The turlet. I was like, they wet it?
It just shows how shifty he is. But I didn't even bump into he's trying to be shifty with that. I just thought of it as, like, if I break this,
we're screwed anyway.
we're screwed.
Well,
like,
no,
we don't know if
makes
there's
sense,
more
but
tapes.
it's the perfect cover.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be shifty,
True.
be like, hey, throw me that. But I would have been like, dude, I know how to fucking catch. So,
Stupid ass, just don't throw it like a jackass, and we'll be fine.
right.
We're right across the room from each other. It's okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, they listen to the tapes.
And you get that classic, I want to play a game.
I love it so goddamn much.
Yeah, I mean, Tobin Bell is fantastic, and he's that guy you never, like I said earlier, you never knew he was in everything.
Yeah, I kind of wish, like, and it's the same with Tony Todd, because I fucking love Tony Todd too.
Mm-hmm.
If I could get either of those guys to, like, record a voicemail thing for me, those would be the two that I would want to leave. I'd be like, here, how much money would it cost for you to fucking record my voice message
Just
for me?
say, call me, or leave a message after the beep in a cool voice. Just do it.
Yeah, it would have to be like, give me that fucking Candyman or give me the Jigsaw, one or the other, which reminds me we need to do Candyman.
Okay. I've never seen it, so. I know it's blasphemous, but it's a fact of my life, and I'm willing to be okay with that. It's like Lost Boys. Like, I know I should have seen it by now.
Right.
I just haven't. Just shut up about it. Let's watch the movie. Okay?
All right, let's go and turn it on.
Yeah, all right, right now. But, I mean, it starts the trope, and I think, we've talked about this. I think it was Elm Street.
What trope?
The idea of setting up the franchise in one movie. Like, it's not one of those, like a Friday the 13th, where it built up to what it became.
Yeah.
Like, everything about what Saw is and is still today was started in that one movie.
Right, and I think that was one of the cool things, too, I liked about the sequels, is that, like, when you realize that when you watch 2, and then you watch 3, and you're like, holy shit, it's the same fucking movie.
Yeah.
Except for, like, different aspects of it. Like,
And then when you go into, 3, 4, and 5, I think it are, all take place at the same time.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. It's in,
yeah,
like,
1, 2, and 3 don't, but it's...
Is it 3 and 4?
It's 3, 4, and I think 5.
Okay.
take place all at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it
You
was one of them.
stupid dick. Yeah,
Well, I can
because
cut that out and make you look like an asshole. So
you could, I suppose, and change our voices so it's you saying the thing that's right and me being
just
wrong. for a
literally
change.
cut you out of every episode and it's just me talking to myself. That'd be the worst.
That's what's really scary. He's slowly losing it.
Yeah. All along, I thought I had a co-host.
Never did. So they find out that they have to kill each other to get out of the room. Whoever kills the other wins and gets set free. And then Gordon somehow hears in the muddle, "Follow your heart."
Oh, right.
Because it was in
right.
the static, and he whispers, "Follow your heart.
Yeah, that's right.
Taste the rainbow." And so then they find
The heart
the
on
heart
the
on the turlet.
The
And to me,
Stop saying turlet on the turlet. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I had. You know, the
No.
game. The game. What are you doing over here today, my dude? You're like turlet. I'll keep it going. He's about to shit himself over here. Yeah. So the game begins. They start digging through the nasty ass turlet. Take deep breaths.
the word I said,
I'm just playing. All right, go ahead.
the word I said was now. No,
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a germaphobe, so I probably would have looked in the tank first.
Common sense, man. Not many people have it.
I don't know if that's hindsight, having watched the movie,
No,
or if it's just like, I don't want to.
no, because if you dig through the bottom and there's nothing in the top, like
Yeah, but the top is clean.
for the most part,
For the
yeah.
most
But there's
part.
also water. There's usually water in the top part too. So
Yeah,
like
but
if you can't shove shit. You like my train of thought
Mm-hmm.
is. I'm going to look up there because that's where the storage is at. Like,
Sure.
you can hide things in there.
Yeah.
But, like, you can, like, are you going to dig and you're going to sit there and squeeze in the fucking toilet to be like, is there a key or something
Yeah.
weird in here? Like,
And that's not a thing I'm going to. Yeah.
hot. No, thank you.
That's why I do the tank first.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's just grody.
That's why I said common sense.
I don't know.
If you're going to hide something in a toilet, don't fucking think you're like, I wonder if it's in the poo. That's what I would do with it. I would take a little tiny key and just.
Now, I think it would have almost. I mean, I love the joke of, well, I should have looked in there first.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay.
After he looks through there and he just goes, there's nothing in there. He says no solids, which it's just.
I
Then he
remember
looks
that
in the
now.
tank. Also, the heart is on the tank. It's not on the bowl.
No.
Just throw that out there. So he digs through. He finds the saws.
Mm-hmm.
And he finds the pictures. And then he hides them in the tub or by the tub.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I literally stopped listening to you. I apologize.
Been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, digging through the nasty ass toilet, right? And so when they get the saws, it's kind of funny because he's ripping out, he pulls them both out, and he's like, cool. So he grabs one. The other guy's like, hey, fuckface, how about you fucking give me
How
one
about me,
too?
bruh?
Yeah, bruh.
And yeah, I mean, they're flimsy ass saws, and obviously the first thing you would think is, oh, I need to cut through the chains.
That's what I would have done too.
Yeah.
But then again, I also would have tried to cut the pipe.
Yeah. And we would have looked in the toilet tank. So what do we know?
Yeah, I mean, that rusted ass pipe, you might have been able to fucking chip away at it.
I didn't even think of that.
I just now thought of that.
Fair enough. See, so you wouldn't have thought about it in the room. So
I would have thought about it in the room.
And then they have to realize that they have to cut themselves.
That's why I was like, horrible revelations, because that is the
And
worst.
go,
I don't know if I would cut my foot off as much as I would pull a Matthews in the later saws and just dismantle my foot and hope they can fix it.
yeah, though that is really freaking horrible.
Okay,
It's
so-
reminding me of him trying to walk on it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, we hear that look. Okay, so what do you think would be worse, cutting it off completely or fucking just pulverizing.
Pulverizing's better because, like
But
Gordon
could you
said,
do it?
I don't know if I could do either, to be honest. But I mean, in the headspace,
I was just thinking about.
That was
I was thinking about how I would do it, and like I would probably have to like shatter my heel.
well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, you go for the joint where it's connected, and then you would.
Yeah. Well, no, because if you think about it, like you have.
Yeah,
like
but you
would
also
probably
have
have
the
to.
ankle bone.
How? Yeah. Fair enough, man.
Your foot can fold, and like I think the heel has some padding that you could probably slide her out.
But yeah, that bone though, if you just like crush it,
Yeah.
and then maybe smash the ankles, I'm thinking like maybe four smashers, dude, and you might be able to get it through.
Well, let's try.
Hey,
I got a bathroom and some chain. Let's do it. See what you do.
Justin's
Let's
not going
figure
to
it
work
out.
tomorrow because he's chained to a fucking toilet.
On your chain. Anyway,
Yeah, right.
spoilers. Where am I? So then we cut to an old trap that was laid. I had the guy's name down, and then I don't anymore. But it's the razor
blade.
wire maze.
I put the razor blade cage.
Yeah, that one's horrible. That one I don't know if I could do. The only problem is when the room seals, you're just going to starve to death.
Yeah, so, oh, yeah.
And that's worse. Or is it, though? I'm not sure. But
Yeah, I like it's expecting you to get out as quick as possible, and you're gonna like, yeah.
yeah, he gave him what, like 3 minutes? That's horseshit.
Okay, the victim's name was Paul Leahy.
Okay.
Leahy.
Like, at least give him 15. Like, give him a fighting chance to be able to do it somewhat like he could survive. Because, I mean, they even talk about, like, he did try and run through it.
Yeah.
And it cut so deep that it got to the stomach acid pouring out of him. And it's like,
I remember that.
well, I would hope so. He just watched it
I
last
know,
night.
but I remember that being said.
Yeah.
Like the stomach acid, like.
And it's like, okay, well, for him to get out in general, I mean, we don't know. I kind of wish they had shown the maze, like see what the path would have been for him to actually get out.
Right.
Because, I mean, is that even possible in 3 minutes? I feel like no. Plus, he was a big dude.
Well, I mean, actually, if you kind of go back, like looking at the trap on the Saw Wikipedia or the Sawpedia, whatever the fuck that site is.
I don't know.
Or Fanpedia, whatever it is. It said that the trap was created by Jigsaw and Mark Hoffman, which, spoilers later on, you find out was helping since the beginning.
Yeah.
But wasn't he the one making the traps unwinnable?
Yeah, but he was doing it. That could be one of the first ones that was unwinnable, I suppose. He was doing it in a vindictive way, though, for people that were getting close to him. Mm-hmm. And doing it to people that were, like, he had a vendetta against. It wasn't just random. Well, I mean, all of these people are people that are somehow connected to Jigsaw.
Right.
In theory. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know.
True.
Thanks. So they find. Then we go to. I lost my freaking spot again.
Dude, he had 2 hours to get out of that cage.
Was it 2 hours?
Well, here it says the door was connected to a timer and was closed after 2 hours, leaving Paul to die if he didn't make it out
that's
before
better.
it expired.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
I thought it was. I could have swore he said minutes, not hours. I could be wrong. That's happened.
No,
once.
I'm just reading like I'm like, hell, that sucks.
And he had the jigsaw piece cut out of him, and I love that they eventually explain that. Because in the movies, they're like, oh, well, that's why we call him the Jigsaw Killer, because he cuts out the jigsaw piece. But then Jigsaw himself says, I didn't do that to like give myself a name or have a gimmick. The idea is that they're missing a piece of that fundamental human experience or whatever,
Right.
for lack of a better word. Like they don't have that piece
They're not.
of survival.
Yeah, they're not fully put together to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's genius.
Yeah. And I don't know how much forethought they put into like planning ahead, but this seems like one of those franchises where it's like, okay, here's our 7 movies, and here's what we want to do for each one, and these are all the pieces that we're going to do. And I know that's not the case.
No.
But the way they were able to intricately interweave things and call back to things and foreshadow things, it's like,
wow,
it's insane.
Yeah, I don't know if, and it could just be me. I don't know if they, like, the movies are known for that, but I don't know if they get enough credit for, like, as well as they did it over that many.
No, they really don't. And that's like every time I tell people I like Saw, they go, yeah.
Well, yeah, it was like at work today. I was talking to my co-supervisor, and he's like, I don't like Saw. He's like, it's gory. I'm like, but it's really not. No, not the first one.
Yeah.
It's not overly gory. Not what.
No, it really isn't. I mean, when you look at the rest of them, like 4 is one that's hard for me to watch. It's like the scalp thing and stuff. It's like, oh, those are fucking horrid. But this one's not nearly as bad.
Isn't 3 the one where they have the guy that's chained with the explosive? Where he's got like all the chains he's got to like he's like
yeah.
That one would, oh my god.
Yes.
I mean all the
it's 3 or 4.
All the traps themselves like suck ass completely, but
sure.
You know, like that is whew.
Yeah. Then we get to
I could literally say that about any trap though, being like, fuck.
Well, yeah, I mean the razor wire is just freaking horrible.
Yeah, it really is, man.
Well, and then we get to the antidote safe, which that one doesn't seem quite as bad. Mm-hmm. He has this flammable liquid on his skin. The combo's written all over the wall.
It is in 3 the classroom trap.
Huh?
It is in 3 the classroom trap.
Oh, okay.
With the guy and he has all the... okay, yeah. So I never understood that one. Like, it's got all the numbers on the wall, but how was he supposed to know which ones they were? Were they going to change colors if he got closer with the light? Or...
I don't know. They never really... that one goes really fast, and there's no real explanation as to how he would have actually won that one.
Well, there's a way
and
to
it also
find out.
shows the holes in the wall to be like, hey, he was looking the whole time or watching.
Yeah.
But that one, it's like, because there's a little candle burning on a chain thing, and if he tips that over, it gets it on his skin. Mm-hmm. But they show him like picking up the candle and running with it, I think. And it's like, just set it down somewhere and walk away. Okay,
so the victim of this trap was Mark Wilson. He was trapped completely naked in a pitch dark room, only lightened by a small candle. Furthermore, Mark had a flammable substance smeared on his body as well as a slow-acting poison coursing through his bloodstream.
That's right, the poison.
The only antidote was hidden inside a heavy safe before him, and in order to open it, Mark had to find the combination among hundreds of numbers written on the walls. Due to the darkness, he was forced to take the candle to the wall and walk to the walls to be able to see the numbers, while the entire floor of the room was covered in glass shards. So even that doesn't tell you how he was able to determine which, because it's just numbers written everywhere. So it's like there's no way to tell what sequence.
And especially if the only light you have, which they don't really show that, it seemed like a fairly well lit room.
It seemed like it was decently lit.
But if you're just having to find rando numbers and hope to figure out a combo, there's no frickin' way. That would be a Hoffman.
Yeah, it sounds like these are all Hoffman. Now, my question to that is, like, you watched it last night as well. Was there an extreme amount of glass on the floor, or was it just, like, sprinkled throughout? There were, like, maybe you would have been able to...
I don't remember.
Because I think what I would have done, given the opportunity, was to, like, to have my feet flat on the floor
and just
try to slide.
Although glass is a bitch.
It is a bitch, but I mean...
Like, even when you do that, like, it's going to dig in and be like, oh, it's...
Well, I'm not saying go out there and soccer kick it or anything like that, but like...
But even if you do the shuffle...
Well, what's going to be worse? I mean, you can only walk back and forth, I'd say, one time before your feet are so completely cut up that you can't do anything anyway.
True. I think you're just fucked. I think he's just going to die.
I think these might be inescapable.
And then he does. And then they find the pen light, Gordon's pen light, at one of the crime scenes, which I don't entirely get why he would do that. Mm-hmm. Why he would leave, like, I get, that almost seems like a Hoffman move, too. To be like, oh, here's someone as bait to throw off your trail there so you don't figure out it's me.
Right.
So let's frame this doctor, which he is John's doctor. Mm-hmm. Or his surgeon.
Right. He is
So-
operating on him.
Yeah. So then we cut to the hospital. Intro to Zepp.
Yeah. His name is John Kramer.
You dill holes.
Yeah. Don't be a dick.
You little shits.
That-
Be nice.
You be nice.
Yeah. I don't mind him being such a dick. Because I've been in enough doctors' offices in my life to know that that's just kind of the way doctors are.
They can be.
No
yeah.
offense.
Yeah. If you're a doctor.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah. And
Be
you
nice to
listen
John
this,
Kramer.
One, you could probably go ahead and hit that monthly subscribe button since you have doctor salaries. Support the show.
Gotta support the team.
And then Justin will take back calling you a dick.
Yeah. You have to tell me you're a doctor.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just support the show and I'll just call you dick. Yeah, I think it's a fine way to do that, but in my notes I put Zepp the overly attached orderly.
Yeah, he seemed to be very attached. I
Yeah.
couldn't think of another word to not piggyback off yours, but
But,
yeah, he was really
Yeah, he
like,
was
he's
quite
like-
defensive.
like, he's my friend.
Okay.
But then again, we don't know how much that John talked to him.
He must have quite a
Had
bit.
to have.
But at the same time, we will later find out that Zepp's in a trap of his own.
Well, yeah, he's got to kill. Well,
He's got to
He-
kill Monica Potter and the daughter
right if
Gordon doesn't
doesn't-
complete and kill
well, yeah,
Adam.
and I think that they thought that he was going to be the one there that he would actually kill. I guess they assumed Gordon would be the one who would, be the dick and kill the other guy
Yeah.
first. And
Because he's
so-
kind of a jerk in the first place.
Yeah, he's just so detached from life.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's so done.
Yeah.
Like he's
It's just a ghost, man.
he is a ghost.
Can't live life like that.
Right.
Walking like a ghost.
And
So then there's the interrogation, and they show him,
the pen light questioning.
the pen light questioning, and then we get to see the interview with Amanda,
Right, which then leads into
the reverse bear trap.
the game. This is like the first one that they actually show.
The whole thing.
Yeah, like this one wasn't an escapable trap. This one was like, so hers I feel was the easiest.
Yeah. I've
It was
always
just the
thought
most.
that.
It was the more emotional because like, luckily the guy didn't feel anything, but she actually had to cut into somebody to get that key to get it off.
See, but here's my thing. In the tape, doesn't he say he's dead?
He might.
If he does, as horrible as it would be to have to do that, I feel like that is the easiest. Like, if you believe someone is dead, then what you're doing to them isn't going to do anything. Mm-hmm. He was numbed, so he didn't feel anything.
I think he would have. I think he would have died anyway, because
Yeah, well,
it was saying his name is Donnie Greco, and he was paralyzed by an opiate overdose and therefore couldn't move.
Huh.
So who knows if
was he also from the movie Wall Street with Michael Douglas?
Gordon's little brother did. But
I
yeah,
knew
no.
it. It's all connected.
Yep, everything.
But that's I've always felt like that's the one I feel like I could do. Because if I believe he's dead, then it doesn't matter what I do. It's going to be fucking gross, and I'm not going to enjoy it at all.
No, but
But-
now if you are, you lift the hand up like you're about to stab down, and then he slowly starts to wake up and look at you.
Well, yeah,
Would
if
you
I
just
see
do it
that
and-
he's alive, then it's going to be tougher. But that's always been my question watching this is, does she believe at the time when she gets started that he's dead? And maybe
She
can't...
might. I don't know. But then, yeah, there's not a long time in between when he starts to open his eyes and like,
Yeah.
and then she's
in-
like, "Fuck you," Ugh.
Clicks his
because it's
face.
either because it's either you or him.
Yeah.
And
Well, once you get started, there's really no turning back. Like,
Yeah.
you might as well just get it over with.
right, because you're gonna have to get the intestine open.
Grr. And then we get the puppet, which is fantastic.
The Billy doll.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Little Billy badass.
Yeah, I was trying to remember his name, and I couldn't. That's why I put the puppet.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So yeah, dude. They during that thing, or during Amanda's game, they start to show you kind of like that signature. Do they do it in all the other movies, or is it just Saw 1 where they do the, like, was that in the height of the 360 where everybody was doing 360 things, and then just the chaotic motions and speed ups and slow downs and like...
No, they do it pretty... I mean, it's been a long time since I've watched all of them.
And you think I would know that, because I think that's actually one of the more recent franchises I binged.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably been like 6 months to a year, but I think it's one of the last ones that I went out and I watched. Boom, boom, boom.
I feel like if they don't do it through all of them, they do it through a lot of them, because there's a lot of times
that
where...
signature feel.
Yeah, you get that fast pace of them
Like the same thing with the
out.
car chase.
Yeah.
The zoom in and zoom outs and like all the fucking weird, I don't know, almost like dreamlike, because I wouldn't say dreamlike, but almost like...
You did, though.
I did, because I didn't know what word I wanted to use. But like in that car chase, and we'll talk about it. I have it on here.
Okay.
But like when they show the cars and they're moving,
Uh-huh.
you can't see anything but the car. Everything else is fogged out. So you don't know where they're at, where they're going, until they pull up to the factory.
Right.
Like everything, it is very dreamlike, to where it's like it's the only thing in focus is those things, and you don't know anything else.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, especially when we get to that part and it is reaching the end, it's so much of it is chaotic that it keeps you on edge and keeps you going, okay, what the hell's going on? Who's this? Who's that? Where are they going? What's this?
It's like the movie that instead of uses the score to keep you on edge, it uses
Crazy
very
camera shit.
chaotic. Yeah.
Which is a fine trope in and of itself. I mean, there's some pretty decently classic-ish music in Saw, but...
Yeah. Dude, the theme music to Saw is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Don't. He ruined it. I hate it now forever.
Go to the circus and have us a ball.
I just turned off your mic. No, I'm just kidding.
I would. And then after the story time with Amanda, she has the very creepy line of, "He helped me."
Yeah, he did. Well, and that's the thing that I put, because I was like, she had that killer instinct to do what she had to do to survive, and it was a killer lesson. So she learned. She actually, like, she is. I guess nobody's really a Jigsaw success story, because anybody that, she was close until she starts to get jealous in Saw 3. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it's like, she had it up until that point, and then she let her emotions get the better of her.
Yeah.
But like,
I'd say the closest is his ex-wife.
Yeah.
Would probably be to the one who's like, okay, I see what you're doing. I don't like it, but I get it, and I'll help you, because Hoffman's a dick.
Yeah, I don't like you. Yeah, fucking Hoffman, man.
Well, we'll get to that in a couple of years when we actually cover the sequels.
Right? Yeah, it'll be like, hey, in 2023, we're covering Saw 6.
It's probably about when it'd be, too.
God, with the rate that we're pumping out episodes.
Kiss my what?
Yeah, if anybody's upset about the amount of episodes we put out, blame Justin.
Fair enough. Well, if you want me to do more, then tell your friends.
Well, yeah, all jokes aside, that is the caveat. If we get more interaction and more a reason to put out more shows, like there's a demand for it, we can and will up the episode. We have some ideas coming up in the next couple months about bonus episodes, so those are coming. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I mean, for the most part, I have this show, I have A Nerd's World, which is my other podcast.
Right.
And I cycle between those every other week, or at least that's the goal.
Yeah, you're doing something every week.
Yeah.
And then some.
And then some, and working on other stuff, hopefully one day to talk about. But
right.
I'm more than willing to watch more horror movies and talk about more horror movies, but...
Right now, it's just kind of us talking about it. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of interaction right now.
Yeah, so
there's a few of you out there.
Yeah,
like
and we definitely appreciate it.
Like, shout out to Kiro. He's always saying something on YouTube, so thank you, buddy.
Yeah. So, I mean, the more interaction we get, the more likes we get on the Facebook, the more listens we get.
We're almost at 200 likes.
I know.
I'm excited.
I'm
like
really,
the Facebook page.
Yeah, please, please, please. I would love to beat the record of my old show, which we're very close to.
Right.
Which is a little sad, but I don't want to talk about it.
Which is sad, because I loved your guys' old show.
Thank you.
Aside from you shitting on DC all the time,
Sure.
I loved it.
Thank you. Go back and listen to it. It's still available on wherever you listen to podcasts.
I get enough of you.
Outdoor
now,
Sidekicks.
so.
You've already listened. I don't care about you.
Yeah. Go back and bring it back from the dead.
Yeah.
Revive it. So yeah, dude. My favorite thing about that now that we're off our soapbox, my favorite thing about the interrogation is, I don't know, dude. Everybody seems to be like a little, the way that they talk in this movie. So like, she's sitting there and Detective Tapp, Danny Glover, he's like, you are in fact a drug addict, are you not? Like, hey, dude, what the fuck, man?
Back up off me.
Yeah.
Holmes. Like, I almost died. Fucker.
Yeah, and like, now we're gonna call out our extracurriculars, dude. Like, fuck you, man.
I mean, and it's a thing that I've seen in other cop shows to be like, so you really are a piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so you might have had this coming. Is that what you're trying to say to me right now?
Yeah, pretty much. That is his point, I suppose.
Right? He's like, well, did you get mixed up with somebody?
Stupid dick.
So I'm trying to think.
Okay.
Because I wrote down, it was like, the movie itself, like, it was well shot. The angles are good. Like, there's nothing about it that, I mean, it doesn't come off overly artsy, but it does have that. But it does have that.
It's effective.
Yeah, it does have that indie vibe.
Yeah, I mean, when they first turn on the lights in the bathroom and you get that the lights coming on and it follows them as they click on, like, that's a cool shot. You know, there's plenty of fun stuff, even when they do circle the room and shit with the reverse bear trap. Like, it's all effective because it gives you that dizzying, kind of what you would feel like.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I just got a text message. This is a future shout out for you. Norris sent me a text message that he's currently listening to our Lost Boys episode. So thank you.
Oh, no kidding. He's getting caught up. Good
Yeah,
luck.
he's only 2 behind. Well, because we were talking about Halloween at work today. Off topic real quick. I was like, hey, did you know that Friday the 13th, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, I didn't know that. And I looked at him. I was like, well, you did if you would if you listened to the Halloween episode. And then I walked away and you just started laughing. It was perfect.
True
But yeah,
story,
thank
though.
you, Norris.
So we go back to the bathroom.
Right, and
we discovered the two-way mirror.
Right, and I did write down, so the makeup that they use, because obviously you can tell that there's makeup.
Sure.
I thought that they probably could have done, I mean, I know it's a low budget, but like, it's pretty obvious. Like, even like when they do all the close-ups of like the feet and stuff like that with like Dr. Gordon, I'm like, God, you can fucking see like the makeup lines. And yeah, and I'm like, wow, they really
it definitely, like, this one gives you super indie vibes, but the sequels
it does have a
get
charm.
much tighter.
Right. And I was gonna look up and be like, because I'm like, this movie, even though it went on to be huge, like, even Midnight Meat Train felt more like a bigger budget movie, and I'm sure it had more of a budget.
Yeah.
But like, just the way that it was done, like, you know what I mean, vibe wise.
I mean, this definitely, but again, that's part of the kitchen charm, is that it feels indie.
Right.
It feels like you and I could get a camera and a couple people
And go out
and
do
make
it.
this movie.
We could.
And that's part of, I mean, part of it takes away the luster of the glitz and glam of, ooh, it's a movie.
No, but I like the grit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Good.
So they discovered the two-way mirror and Zepp watching them on the monitors.
Yeah, so I wrote down, I said, Adam throwing a fit discovers the two-way mirror cam. And I'm like, he's like, I don't fucking like it. And blah, blah, blah. Throws these little tiny pebbles and then breaks the window. And then does he notice it at that point, though? Like, right away? Because he picks it up and he's like, I'll fucking cut you or something. What did he?
I don't remember why he picks up the glass, but then he looks at the glass and goes,
He's like, I will fucking, oh.
I can see myself in this mirror and I can see through you in this mirror.
Why?
I don't know.
Why are you the way that you are? Yeah, so the two-way mirror, like, I guess it's a good thing that he threw a fit, because obviously he had to do it to move the story along.
Yeah.
But like, couldn't, like me, I'd have just picked something, like, fuck. I would have thrown something and be like, bitch. And then like that, he's all like,
Yeah, I think. I mean, this. It's weird because it's like this is brilliant writing and shitty writing in the same movie.
It really is, and it's decent acting and horrible acting. It's like it's so much of an up and down.
Yeah.
You know.
Because I mean, in theory, you would have him go like. Obviously, you would get tired of being chained to a pipe very quickly.
Oh my.
So if he just like didn't think about it for a sec and tried to walk and couldn't and go. And I'm pissed, and now I'm throwing shit all over the place.
That would definitely be what I would do. I'd be standing there like, oh, yeah, I'm fucking chained. Stop doing that. God damn it. Like, I would, yeah, that would.
I keep watching Stranger Things.
I was going to say, like, how many times have you watched the seasons already?
Not that much. Just once. Twice.
Or twice. I still haven't started season 3.
Because you're dumb.
Dude, I don't have fucking time.
Yeah, whatever. So, my next note is don't say there's nothing in the closet unless you look first. And that's something I noticed.
Yeah, I'll fucking hit you, dude. For those that can't see me, Justin can right now, and the fucking look he's getting for being a dick. I hate you. I hate you so much.
That escalated quickly.
Okay, so yeah, it did.
But like when I was watching the new Halloween.
This is the scariest part of the movie for me.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
could see
like,
that.
yeah. Well, I mean, it is like having the daughter aside, like the way they did that, it was really creepy. And then
definitely,
like
especially
the
when
eye,
you see his eye,
and then coming in, and then you see, like, if I ever came into my room and somebody was hovering over a bed, I would pull a tap and I would tackle them through a wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd be like, what in the fuck is going on here? Plus, Zepp's, I would hope that it was somebody like Zepp, because I would.
You don't want a Michael Myers who you would run into and then you would fall backwards and go, ow.
Hat. Like, I would probably, honestly, with all the shit in my daughter's room, I would probably like suplex him onto her drum set.
Or you trip over it and make an ass of yourself.
Oh, fucking hit my head on something. Be like, well.
Knock out. I'm like, okay.
Well, way to take the steam out there, bud.
Mm-hmm. But.
Yeah, that's the scariest part of the movie for me, because he's all like, go to sleep, or whatever he said. Did you write down what he said?
No,
I don't remember either. But that scary as hell, because then he just
the creepy eye alone is just disturbing. And then we find the picture of Larry's wife finally and the kid in his wallet, which I thought
right
was
there?
It's right after that. So after the
because I
might have missed something.
You missed quite a bit, because with that, and then it does a flashback.
Yeah.
With the stupid Tootsie story.
Yeah, that's right before him in the closet. I kind of breezed over the
because I put
part.
Maybe I put it out of order, because I'm like, because the creepiest part, I might have went ahead, but
so the girl thinks there's someone in the closet, which there is, of course. Goes to
right
the
and
mom.
Then he does the stupid Tootsie thing.
Yeah.
And then
he has to go to work, and the mom and dad fight, and then he leaves.
I wrote disconnected fight, because he is not there for that fight.
No.
She's like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, okay.
I wanted to anyway, but you stopped to yell at me, so let me just, can I go now?
Just go. Yeah, I was trying to.
That was kind of the point of what I was happening.
But so the regards picture is, I wrote down, because you're right, that I wrote down that is a legit nightmare for me. Like, if I were to open,
I would think so.
Right, but like, it's like that whole little thing right there is enough to be like,
the game is on.
Yeah, kind of like how like Gone Girl is like a super scary movie. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Don't.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, like opening your wallet and then seeing a picture of your wife and kid, like in that condition, and then saying best regards. Yeah, dude, with
the jigsaw piece, and then on the back it's X marks the spot. Sometimes you see better with the lights off, or
if your eyes are closed, or some stupid
something
shit
about it being dark again.
Yeah.
Which I think it's clever, and the idea of the fluorescent, glow in the dark paint.
Yeah. Dude, in these movies, it's almost like there's such expert planning in that everything always goes according to plan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what if they didn't turn the light off? You know what I mean?
Like you're just like, what if they never figure it out? And
yeah,
they're just
you're
like,
putting a
well.
lot of faith in these guys.
But I mean, I guess if they're not, like we said at the beginning, if they're not smart enough to figure it out, they die anyway.
Yeah, true.
Also, these clues aren't that tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they do take some cleverness, but you have to think about they're in a panic, trying to survive. You can't go too complex because your brain can't do that.
Fair enough.
When you're freaking the hell out. And just,
I'll give you that.
You know, if Gordon had actually seen that picture, he would have been freaking the hell out. He probably would have.
Clouded judgment.
Yeah, like
I know I would have been.
The idea of him even looking at the back of it in the first place is a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he probably would have just crumpled it up and tossed it or some shit.
That's true.
So, yeah.
And so this, after that, is the awkward wallet toss and sliding the picture or hiding the picture.
Yeah.
So the way that he's like,
Ugh.
like I'd been like, "Fuck you doing over there?" Like I would have.
Shifty little bastard.
Yeah, you little piece of shit.
And then we cut to what I think is one of the weirdest things, and that's Zepp listening to their heartbeats.
The heartbeat. Yeah, I wrote down. Well, yeah, and I already covered that with the. I don't know what I would do if I saw somebody hovering over my daughter's bed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm somehow out of order here.
Very much so, yes.
But the heartbeat gun thing is all sorts of fucked up.
It's fucked up, but it doesn't make sense because he's not the killer.
No,
Like it makes sense if he's Jigsaw, but he's not, so it doesn't.
They haven't revealed that Jigsaw isn't him yet, though, have they?
No, I mean, and
So
that's,
maybe they're just setting it up. Maybe he's.
yeah, it's definitely a misdirect. But given that,
that's a really fucking dark, misdirect.
yeah, and it's like, okay, shouldn't you not want to kill these people? You shouldn't want.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you would definitely want.
Like your hope is that that Gordon succeeds, so you don't have to kill the people, so you get the antidote and keep living.
Right.
So
Yeah.
why would you put a knife or gun to their heads and
Kinda
listen to their heartbeats?
Like, kind of get off on it.
Yeah.
Kind of like,
Yeah.
like, huh?
I mean, I know I don't remember what his deal is and why Jigsaw picked him in the first place.
Right.
I know he has something going on, but I don't know. That one just always threw me.
All right. So with Zepp Hindle, that's his name.
Quite
Zepp
the
had
handle.
they have a thing for slow acting poison.
Who doesn't?
So, which would kill him in a few hours. To obtain the antidote, he had to abduct Allison and Diana Gordon, Dr. Gordon's wife and daughter, and hold them hostage for the duration of Lawrence's game, which he had to observe over a surveillance monitor. If Lawrence failed to kill his opponent, Adam Stanheight, God, get better names, by 6 o'clock, Zepp would have to kill them, while Lawrence was forced to listen to their death over the phone. But it doesn't say why he was picked.
Mm-hmm. I know they gave a reason because he had his own tape and they listened to like what
reason tested. He enviously hating and bad mouthing people instead of attempting to prove his own life. That seems a little extreme.
Well, sure.
Because we do that back and forth all the time.
Yeah, we've just been doing it for like an hour now.
Yeah, not necessarily enviously because I don't envy you in any way.
You do though, like a little bit.
Not even close.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up, and then you find out that Tap's watching the house.
Yeah, that's when you see that Glover gone crazy, and he is like he went
done gone crazy.
He went super banana balls, and
Yeah.
it's just
He's obsessed.
yeah. He's got pictures all over the place, and he's
Kind of like Charlie in fucking It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's like fucking with all the. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. I'm good.
I'm aware of the show, but I don't watch the show.
It shows.
I know. So's your face. So then we cut to the flashback of Glover finding, because he goes, I should have killed you when I had you and shouldn't have let you go and all that shit.
Oh yeah, classic detective work, dude.
Mm-hmm.
To be like, to find out where to go.
Yeah, that was I've always loved that scene that he's watching the video again and again and again
Obsessively.
And then he just happens to see and notice in that grainy
the
shitty
K2K
video
or whatever it is,
Yeah,
the
something
graffiti,
like
so obvious yet so like
minuscule and
that you might not pay attention to it, even though you would think that them being markings would be like, oh, there is distinctive markings on this wall here.
Well, I mean, it was shitty grainy video. So, I mean, it wasn't the clearest thing, and it's not like it was high def or anything.
Right. Not like the cameras we have at work.
Sure. I do wonder if that was on purpose or if Jigsaw just fucked up a little bit.
Well, see, and I thought about that watching it last night, too. I'm like, did he want them to find it? But then again, at the same time, when they get there and then they see Jigsaw coming up the elevator, being like, oh, shit, that's him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't know that he was there. That he didn't know that they were there. And until they let him get up there by the trap, like, he wasn't expecting them.
Right. But then he very quickly does a bit of a turn and is like, okay, well, now this is your test.
Well,
Save this guy in your
but I mean, like the cool thing is like not to breeze over all the clues and shit, like, you know, pulling the fucking red curtains off of everything and
finding
seeing,
the
like,
mini model of the bathroom.
Yeah, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, the fact that he plans it out like that, like has a little diorama of it.
Yep, that's one of my favorite things about that is like he's like the planning that he put into all this is so long con, it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, especially once you get into after 4, or after 3, really. It's like, okay, he's dead, and then there's 4 more movies.
Yeah, and then they made a new one.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
it's actually really good.
It's not bad. It was better than I expected it to be. I was like,
definitely. Okay. And now Chris Rock's making some more.
Yeah, but like,
I'm stoked.
I honestly am too, because like the people are like, why are these why are these comedians doing horror? But I mean, you have Chris Rock is rebooting Saw or redoing Saw or whatever. Jordan Peele with Candyman, Us, Get Out, all these.
And Us
Twilight
and Get
Zone.
Out are great.
I know. I still need to watch Get Out.
Yeah.
And then you have Danny McBride who wrote
did Halloween.
Yeah, did Halloween.
Well, you know, I've heard them say, I mean, pulling off a good kill is a lot like pulling off a good joke.
Yeah, that's what they say. Right, being able to scare somebody is like being able to write a punchline.
Yeah,
exactly that.
And
like,
it's that setup and that payoff. And if you do it right, it's perfect. If you screw it up, you're screwed, and it doesn't work.
Right, and I mean, like I've heard that it's a pretty fine line with, you know, humor and tragedy to be able to like, because I mean, like listening to a lot of comedians, they're I don't want to say warped, but like they have this
skewed look on things.
It could be skewed, but they also have like this different edge to them. Like listening to like Bill Burr, who's one of my favorite comedians, talk about like, you know, comedians having this like it's almost like their own little secret society where like they're all, you know, they all have it.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, you know what I mean, and like the ability to do the comedy, but then also doing horror. I like, even though there's only a few of them doing it now, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear another, you know, big name comedian diving into horror.
Well, if they're as good as what we've been getting, bring it on.
Dude, I have nothing but high expectations for whatever Chris Rock will do with Saw.
Yeah. So we get the dual drills to the head and Glover getting knifed.
Yeah, but I wrote down, I was like, checking out the warehouse lair. It's super sweet. So many keys.
That
was so many keys, and you had so little time to get it.
Yeah.
But then
but that was also kind of the point.
Boom, wrist blade.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because also in Dead by Daylight, one of the killers is called the Pig, which is Amanda's character.
Yeah.
She's the killer in the game. Her thing, and they just added new cosmetics for her, which was cool. So like before she just had like the blue jeans, and then she had like the red robe, and then the pig mask, and then her weapon was a wrist blade. So it would, like her whole thing is she would crouch, you couldn't really hear her coming, and then she would like do a lunge attack at you, which was super cool. But also she had bear traps.
Nice.
And so there's a few killers that they would add things in. So like with her, they would add little like razor style looking trap boxes where you'd have to put your hands in there and do a non-existent game, but it would look like that in order to get the key to take the bear trap off your head. And so, like, it's pretty cool stuff that they did with her in that game.
Yeah.
And one of these days I'll show that to you.
Okay.
You're like, moving on. I know every time we talk about a movie or that has anything to do with Dead by Daylight, I always bring it up.
I know. It's okay.
I know, because I eventually want to do an episode on that.
Well, we will.
Right.
So
Wrist Blade.
Yeah.
My favorite thing coming up when... What's his name? Wing?
That's called racism.
No. Don't...
His name is Sid.
Is it Sid?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm cutting that out. Because that did not mean... I hate you so much.
Yeah,
Right?
I made sure to write it down because I wanted to get his name.
Dude, I even wrote that in the notes. Like, I could have swore that they said that's what his
It
name...
could have been his last name, maybe. but
I'm
his,
looking it up because if I need...
His name is Sid. And he gets tripwired with the several shotguns pointing from the ceiling.
It's Sing, not Wing. But his name is Steven Singh.
Oh, it's...
So I was
So we
closer
were
than
both
you
wrong.
were.
Sid and Sing is close.
Wing and Sing is even closer. You fucking... Oh, that's racist. God, you're racist.
No, I'm not. So the tripwire shotgun thing is freaking awesome.
Yeah, I call it the shotgun curtain.
I can see that. It's not bad.
Dude, that... Yes. Holy shit. Just...
Well, what I also loved and kind of noticed this time is that he did it at the bottom of like a wall of spider webs.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Even
I was
if,
like, ugh.
like he was just screwed. Like there's no way around it. It's like there's no way you're not going to think, oh, this little thing is just more spider web, and I'm just focused on that. So
Well, yeah, it's a nice distract.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. And so after that happens, Jigsaw twitches a little bit, does the whole get up, and then it goes back to the bathroom.
Yeah, and that's
And-
when they find the X.
Yeah, they find the X, and that he's like, he really wants that cigarette, like really bad. He's like, give me that cancer. Like that was back when it was cool to call cigarettes cancer sticks and all that kind of stuff. Be like,
And still smoke them.
yeah, smoking them cancer sticks. Like, get fucked. So yeah, he really, really wants that cigarette. That's
And
not
then-
foreshadowing at all.
No, not at all. Can I have a cigarette?
Can I have it?
And then Adam shows Larry the picture of his wife and kid finally.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, I'll poison you to death. That sounds good. I don't mind the fake smoking plan. What I mind is the shitty dying from Adam. It's like he's doing a jig and he's trying to choke. It's like you've never seen a movie where someone's poisoned or dying.
Right.
And you're just making funny noises and shit and falling to the ground. But I love that the chains are electrified.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, oh shit.
And also when you realize that Jigsaw's in the room, so he knew the whole time.
Right.
They were just...
It's like good. He's like, he's just laying there. He's like, these fucking idiots. Like, I can hear you. But at the same time, he took a thing. He take something to slow his heart rate down so much that he appeared dead.
Yeah.
Or that he was knocked out for a while.
Yeah, he might have been knocked out at that point, but it was at least... I know he did take something so his heart rate would slow, and it wouldn't look like he's, a guy laying on the floor breathing.
Yeah.
So maybe he wasn't fully aware at the time,
Because,
but then...
But he does the shock at the end.
he does
So, he has the thing.
Yeah, he's the one that shocked him in the first place. It wasn't Zap.
Right. It's clever.
Yeah.
But then to be like, okay, slow it back down. Gotta look like I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this leading into my favorite thing when they do the Dr. Gordon flashback where he's in the parking garage.
Yeah. I hate the lead-in. I remember everything now. Great segue.
What?
You don't remember that? Adam just out of nowhere is like, I remember everything now. Let's go to this flashback. Oh. That part Like some of the shitty writing, I give a pass. That one I don't.
I'm almost half tempted to go back and watch it just to listen to that part, because that could have been when I was in and out of the room real quick.
Yeah, like out of nowhere, he just goes, "I remember everything now." Okay.
Yeah, congrats, bud.
For
like,
reasons.
Yeah, like,
that
were you
happened.
under amnesia? Like, did you have amnesia leading into that? Like,
I get that they were knocked out and shit and things were fuzzy, but the way he just happens, like nothing jogged his memory.
Now. Yeah, there
nothing. Wasn't a cue that be like, oh, this made me remember this thing,
right?
And now I remember how I got here. It's just I remember everything now.
Yeah, like it's a soap opera.
Yeah.
Good God.
That part bugs me. The rest I can live with.
Not sure though. So yeah, dude, like this is one of my favorite parts of the movie too, because the way that the pig crawls out of the car, it's so creepy.
Yeah, it's like spider-like.
Yeah, like definitely not pig-like, but like.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't want
pig.
that. That's not scary.
Spider pig
does whatever a spider pig does.
Yeah, but climbs out of the car. Super. I love that too. Like,
giving me the chilies.
Yeah, it's good. Okay. So then, yeah, gets him. I wrote down Dr. Gordon calls Adam a terrible liar. And I put in parentheses actor as well. Ha 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 ha.
Winkety wink, 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 nudge, nudge.
Yeah, dude. He's like, you're a terrible liar. He's like, I know. And so he's like, okay, I'll poison the cigarette now.
Mm-hmm.
And then like hatches the like super shitty plan of being like, hey, pretend to be dead. Like, honestly, I would have just fucking poisoned the cigarette and threw him at him. If my wife and daughter were at stake, I'm sorry,
you know
dude.
that now.
And you know that now. Yes, because he saw the picture.
I mean, at this point, he doesn't know the Adam story.
But if it comes to my wife and daughter, and me and you are locked in a room, and my objective is to make sure that you don't leave the room, I would expect it in return, you're not leaving the room.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's a given. Like, why are you stalling? Just poison the cigarette. Be like, here, have it. I also, when I smoked for a long time, and you see the bottom of the cigarette as it's coming to your mouth. Like, that's weird. This looks like blood. Blood smokes.
I don't really want that one. Yuck.
Yeah.
Can I have the second one? Because there's two for reasons.
I wonder if it would have to be, because it's like you get it into the filter. I don't know, man. I might have just like tried to get a little bit of the blood into the tobacco part. You know what I mean? But then again.
Well, I think what we've learned here today is I don't want to be locked in a room with you for any reason.
If it comes down to my wife and daughter, you better hope you're not locked in a room with me.
I feel like even if that wasn't the case, I think if we were just locked in this room, everyone else was fine, you'd just kill me.
I don't think I'd kill you. I'd just be bummed that your fucking 64 is not down here right now.
I got other game systems.
Huh.
Yeah.
All I see is Goosebump books and a fucking horn like your big hoss over there. Yeah, I've been coming over here for months now. And
I'll tell you about it after the show.
Okay.
But I got, we'll talk
shows.
about it after
we got
the
show stuff. So they tried to outsmart him. Shockingly failed.
Yeah. I get it.
You're like, oh, you bitch.
You pulled on me.
Yeah, but I pulled it off.
Did you?
Yeah, so then...
after that, that's when Adam remembers everything.
He's like, that's what happened. like he had been electrocuted before.
Yeah.
So you find out Adam, the photographer, has been following around the good doctor for a while now. Taking pictures for Tap. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, which didn't make I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it ties it all in to where it's not be like, well, hey, how did they meet? Like, he's just a photographer.
Yeah.
The detective hired him to follow him around to get pictures, but like, why was he following around the doctor for so long? Like, what was he obsessed with the doctor about?
I think he still believed
that he was a part of it.
Yeah, that he was involved.
Okay.
And then
Jigsaw
that's such a
short amount of time, though.
Is it though?
Like, Well, maybe.
I mean, we don't
Maybe
really
not.
know how far back these flashbacks are.
Well, I mean,
I would imagine quite
the
a ways.
knife cut's healed.
Yeah,
And scarred over,
and
so
scarred
it's enough
over.
of that.
It was enough time for him to ruin his career and have to be a permanent in an apartment across from
A
Gordon.
vigilante.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I would imagine it's been quite a ways.
It could be. But why? Oh, yeah, because the old interrogations had happened for a while, and he probably just never bought it and been like, you know what, I know it's you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I wrote down Adam gets got, and then you have the badass pig rush, and I love the sound effect. Every time that, she would rush somebody, it would have that crazy-ass noise.
That
I
rust.
fucking love it. Almost like this weird, I wouldn't call it a roar, but like a growly
Yeah.
exclamation.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yeah, so I wrote that.
Okay. It seemed like you were leading somewhere. I wanted to give you some space here.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you for leaving me with awkward silence.
Mm-hmm. No problem. That's what I do. There's
Is it what you're here for?
No. That's what I do. That's different. So Larry's family calls. And
You're saying it like it's hilarious. You're like, Larry's family calls.
they're about to die. It's great.
It's Lawrence, not Larry.
Call him Larry.
But is it though? Just kidding. Yeah, I'm over here giving you shit for saying it's what I do, and I like repeatedly go, is it though?
Yeah. I wasn't going to say it, but you do.
Were you though?
Or no. I don't remember. One of those things.
Either way.
And then, so Zepp tells Monica Potter to say, hey, Adam knows you. And so then she
on
does.
the phone call.
Yeah, on the
right,
phone
right,
call.
right.
Because Gordon tries to... He tries to make a phone call and then very quickly understands that it's only meant to receive calls.
Yeah. He's like, this phone here doesn't make them. But I can get them. Like, I've never looked at a phone being like, oh my God, I wish that I could...
Make a call. Can't.
No,
This phone, it's not a caller. It's a receiver.
That's
it.
On the back it says, only receives calls. Like, what the fuck, man? I've never heard of a phone that only receives calls.
And no matter what, isn't it like law that every phone has to be able to call 911 pretty much at all times, no matter what?
Well, I don't know that law, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
It might not be a law, it just might be a thing that they do.
Yeah, so you're going to have to carry it for a little bit because I...
Fell asleep and forgot to take notes.
No, I have a family, you dickhead.
I do too. Cats.
I have a toddler, just turned 3,
I have a kitten. It's about 6 weeks old.
my buddy.
Yeah,
How
so...
dare you bring your kitten into this?
Everything. So that's when Larry finally realizes that Adam spies on him and all the pictures and shows him the pictures that were in the garbage bag. And then we find out that Glover paid for the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the pictures is Glover's picture of Gordon's window. And it shows Zepp.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he got such a recent photo into the bathroom. But hey, cool. Let's just keep rolling.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a like a legit thing to question.
Well, I mean, we don't know how long they were knocked out. In theory...
In theory, that could all be the past. No, it's not the past. Because
it has to be Zepp in his place now.
Yeah, because they're talking on the phone. Everything's happening in real time. This isn't like the misdirect in the later movies where like, oh, this is happening, but it just looks like it's happening, and it didn't really happen then. You know what I mean? Like,
but this is all now. So somehow, Jigsaw had to have gotten a picture from Glover of Zepp, gotten it to the bathroom, set the guys up, and laid down.
Right. But don't they show later on that Hoffman or somebody was the one helping him get them in there?
Yeah, I think so. And I suppose it could have been Hoffman doing it too. He could have got the picture from Glover, and
Fair
ran
enough.
it over and said, "I got your picture."
Hey, here you go, bud. But yeah, so like they're sitting there bullshitting back and forth, and then all of a sudden they look up and they like have 15 seconds left until the timer's up.
Oh, we shouldn't have been bullshitting this long. Oh man,
Yeah.
we're
Oh
so
no,
screwed.
how are we gonna get out of here? You failed every attempt, so I would have. So yeah, finds out. Boom, time's up. Zepp's got to make the call just as Mom Potter fucking gets ready to escape, and then has to unescape. Air quotes, and then comes in there, makes the phone call.
And it freaks out Gordon. And in the meantime, we get Glover to the rescue.
Yeah, because I wrote because you have I wrote Zepp, and the look on his face. There's a look that he does. It's priceless. Like I don't remember. Like I don't. So yeah, there's a point where he's just kind of like he makes this really weird like face.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's when Tap shows up or what, but yeah, I wrote down because there was a gun struggle
Yeah.
between him and the mom, and she holds her own.
Yeah.
But she should have fucking she kept letting him. She let him get too close because he kept creeping up, and then of course the daughter's like, "Mom," and then she looks and boom gets rushed.
Yeah.
But then they struggle. And I wrote, go get him, Tap, because he just comes in and like just tackles the guy, and I'm like, yes, get it,
Glover, that guy.
right?
Right
And
in
then
the face.
the one thing that I noticed in this movie, so they fight a little bit. Does he shoot Zepp? Doesn't Zepp get shot? Like in the
If
leg
he-
or something, because he's like
I was gonna
hobbly,
say, yeah, I think if he does, it just like wings him.
right? And so there's a chase, and I noticed there's a lot of reloading of magazines in this movie. Like,
Well, I mean, they have to be conscious of let's not shoot 700 bullets and nobody reloads.
no, I get that, but I mean, this isn't Call of Duty where you shoot 2 bullets and then you reload it and it's magically full again.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Like, if you take one out, you'd have to, have you ever shot guns?
Like twice. It's fine.
Well, at least you've shot guns. So
One
then
point.
right. So there's lots of reloading the mags, and then the chase leads out of the house. They do the crazy car chase scene with which we touched on a little bit earlier, so we can breeze past it. But yeah, that crazy, what almost becomes like synonymous with Saw, is just that really weird, rapid, fucking chaotic shot. Where
Yeah. It definitely helps build the tension.
It does.
It makes you go, oh shit, it's all coming to a head. Everything's about to explode.
Yeah, it's almost like the Halloween, like the doo-doo-doo, the just little tinges here that enough to raise it.
Yeah.
So they get there. The doctor loses it. He went
Well, because, I
banana
mean, all
sandwich.
he can hear is screaming and
Gunshots,
gunshots
and
and,
he's like,
crazy
"Ah!"
shit. He's like, I got to get to my family, go to hell. I should have done this like an hour and a half ago.
Then this is like, I might have to rechange my dumbest moment. But this part right here, where he gets the crazy eyes and he starts to cut his leg. And then Adam's like, Dr. Gordon, you're scaring me.
Jeepers, mister, you're really strong.
Oh, you're losing it. And then like I put, and it's the worst thing too, because it's like that saw is so dull.
It also was just trying to cut chains. Like,
You dulled it a little bit more.
any sharpen that it had is gone now.
Yeah, because they would sit there and wrenched on a little bit, like ow. Yeah. I'm gonna hit you.
You keep setting me up for it.
I don't mean to, but so yeah, trying to amputate with the dull blade. They all end up. Zepp ends up in that room, doesn't he, with them? And he's like, those are the rules. Oh my God. The way he says it too, and then you get the what happened to Zepp? Oh yeah, no, Adam beats the fuck out of Zepp with the
He
lid.
gets toilet lidded. Well, it's a little poetic in the fact that he dug through the shit toilet and is like, "Hey, now I'm going to use this thing, this horrible
bludgeon
thing,
you to death," which is the fucking thing that Eric uses later on to fucking bash his foot in. Like, there you go, good job.
That's so brilliant. Like, these movies get considerably tighter and better as they go on because they're like, oh, this is the shit we can tie together and everything works. And it seems like we've known what we were doing since day
Yeah,
one.
see? Saw can do it. Warner Brothers. What the fuck, man?
I didn't say it.
I know. That's me frustrated as a
I
fan.
know. I understand.
So then you got the big reveal. I'm sorry, dude. I keep taking the lead on
Hey,
your movie.
well, you missed a couple things here, like Larry crawling to safety. Oh, and Glover got shot. You get the Zepp and Glover fight.
I'm all like, man, we're not going to have a long episode of Saw. I look down at it. We're at an hour and 39 minutes. It's like,
That's not bad.
Well, no, but I predicted an hour 23, and we overshot.
You're wrong. We're almost done, though.
No, we are.
Zepp and Glover have a little bit of tussle when they get to the warehouse.
Tuss.
And Glover gets shot.
Okay.
Then he gets to the bathroom, gets beaten to death with the toilet lid.
Right.
And Larry...
Dr. Lawrence Gordon. Come on. Put some spect on it.
I have an uncle named Lawrence. I'll call him Larry. It's all good.
Okay.
Oh, Larry.
Eh.
So Lawrence is dying, bleeding out, in shock, going kind of cray-cray. I feel like he'd do this.
You have to get out of here.
He's in intense pain, you heartless monster.
But he doesn't look like he's in pain. He looks like he's 89 years old. He's 89 years old. Call back to last week. Like it's like dying old. I'm not in pain, but like
I can't wait for... I don't want to shit on your next movie because I know what it is, but like next time you have a stinker...
What, you mean like when I tried to watch Velocipaster?
Yeah, but you know it's going to be bad.
Or Death House?
Yeah. So...
I'm not shitting on your movie. I'm shitting on the acting that we both were shitting on. I'm just funnier than you are, and so it's getting you pissed.
I don't know if that's true.
We do. Maybe
So
we should
Lawrence
put up a
crawls
poll.
to safety, and Adam's
Right.
just screwed.
Fitting. But yeah, you get the reveal. Fucking... Dude,
Yeah.
and see, the thing is like... When you see Jigsaw throughout the movie anytime else, like even when he was coming up the stairs and he's hobbling, which obviously he seemed to be a lot more frail for some reason then, but when he gets up, dude looks fucking beefy. Like he looks
he's a big
way bigger getting up off the middle of the floor than he does at any other point as John Kramer. He looks more solid,
Yeah.
which I was like, okay.
I didn't put that together, but
Well, yeah, like when he
I
gets
could
up and
see
he's
that.
ripping off the prosthetics
Yeah.
and all that shit like that, it's just like, holy fuck, dude.
But at the same time, I guess you could also put that to time lapse.
Time lapse. It's also part of his
He's-
manipulation too,
Yeah.
where he's like later on, when he's sitting there with the, with the
Mask.
oxygen mask, and they're like, "Where's my son?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "If you're just patient."
Yeah. If you just listen to me and let me talk my shit, you'd be fine. Okay.
But since you're
Stupid dick.
yeah. So the reveal's really badass.
Yeah, it makes the movie. Without that, I think it would have just been if Zepp had been Jigsaw and he would have just died there and then been left in the room and be like, okay.
Yeah, I literally just got goosebumps thinking about how bad that would have been.
I mean, it would have been fine, but it would have been just like it would have been a one and done.
Yeah,
And then who cares?
You
And it's
wouldn't have
over. And
Jigsaw, right?
yeah.
And so you get the badass theme music.
Da, da, da.
Dun, 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 and then game over. Boom, slams the door. I wrote that. I mean, that probably would be the worst way to go.
Being
least-
left to die, chained to a thing in the dark. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it. Out of all the traps and all the things that everybody goes through, his is probably the worst because all the other ones could be pretty quick.
Yeah, in theory.
In theory, I mean, the other ones may be more painful. At
But
times,
in his, it's like you're, especially in the dark.
and you have hope that maybe somebody will find you.
Yeah, because you think, well, although at that point, I would imagine he would think Lawrence died.
I would have assumed he died too. Been like, oh, how's the fuck he gonna get out? But didn't he like help out later on too?
Yeah, but I mean, given Adam's headspace at that point, and I don't know why I never thought of it before the reveal that he was helping. Spoilers for the sequels, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
But I think that's the Amanda effect though.
yeah.
Like he was like, oh, you did help me.
Yeah, it was, but I'm saying, like, in that, for this movie, saying, like, if there were no sequels, Lawrence gets out, Jigsaw gets up, leaves, he would pass Lawrence
On the way out.
on the way out.
Yeah.
and therefore he would either say, "You won, go limp off."
But But technically, he didn't win. I mean, he did it after that, and rules are rules.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it just depends. Like, would he be a stickler for you didn't kill Adam?
yeah, because technically he didn't.
Yeah, or would it be like, well, you sawed your foot off. Close enough.
Yeah, he might have been like, huh. All right, so every week after we do our deep dives in the movie, we jump into our scorecard.
Mm-hmm.
And it being your movie, lead us off.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My best kill is the guy whose name I got wrong, apparently. Sid getting trip shotgunned.
Yeah, that was my favorite. That was my favorite too.
It's just, I mean, the rest of the kills are a little fast, and you don't really enjoy them, and there actually aren't that many.
This one there's
There's
not. There's very few
3
that you actually see.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you get snippets.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was my favorite as well.
Good. My most wanted to die is probably the same as yours. Adam.
Yep.
He's just a whiny dickhead, and if he had just been upfront from the get-go and willing to work with him,
yeah, but
fine.
Who knows how that would have played out, given the fact that who knows when Jigsaw was, coherent on the floor as
True.
well.
So even if they had... See, and I guess that goes back to the question at the end there, is if they had cut off their limbs or broken their foot to get out...
Oh, just had an idea. Why wouldn't you take it? I would have been like, yo, Adam, give me your shirt. Or I would have taken off my shirt. I would have tied the saw around the shirt. And then I would have took the gun out of the other hand, because he did have a bullet that literally played no part in the movie. As other than being an option for killing Adam.
Right. What would he have done with the gun after that?
Shot Adam in the head.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, fair enough.
Would I?
That's better than the poison
right?
cigarette.
I would have. I mean, because I don't know. I think that it was myth busted that shooting a lock with a bullet doesn't necessarily unlock it like it does in the video
I wouldn't
games.
think so. It worked in a GoldenEye every time.
Yes, it did.
Most wanted to live, Danny Glover.
Really, I had Tap. Tap would be. Because, see, Tap is...
He's just passionate.
He is... Well, that's a nice way of putting obsessed. I put the daughter, because the daughter was actually in danger.
Fair enough.
But, like, it's a toss-up between Tap and the daughter. I mean, the daughter being, obviously, not the crazy, obsessed detective, but
Sure.
those were my two. But I'm going to lean towards daughter just because you did say Tap.
Fair enough. My only... it's... I know Tap wanted the best for everything. He just wanted to find Jigsaw, take him down, save these poor people.
Right.
I
get it.
Yeah. Grossest moment, digging through the turlet.
The turlet. I also, I couldn't think of anything else that was really gross, so I just put...
Well, I mean, they get more disgusting as the movies go on. This one is the most tame.
Yeah. I just put with the gore from the shot blast. Like, literally just...
The spurting.
I was thinking more along the lines of like the death gross than digging through the turlet.
My gross moments for any of these are usually when I look at it and go, ugh.
Yeah.
And that tops the list every time. I don't
Same.
care how many times I've watched this movie. When he has to dig through that thing, I go,
oh, that's
I need to take a shower.
That's just nasty.
That's nasty.
Oh, jeez.
The dumbest moment for me...
I'm so curious.
Mine is Zepp listens to heartbeats because it makes no sense.
Fair enough. Mine was the awkward wallet toss.
Yeah.
Because I can't use... Like, I can't every week be like my least favorite person's dialogue. Because his was horrible in this movie.
Sometimes it's much more apt than others, but this movie, it felt like...
It has to be that, or the fact that the way Adam overreacts to everything.
Fair enough.
Being like, oh, you're scaring me. Or the way he threw fit to break the mirror. Like, So I'm curious about what yours is, because I made the mistake of not asking you what your specialty category was. And so I had to text you in the middle of our recording of this
and I
episode.
forgot to tell you, but then I thought you would remember.
Yeah,
But you also didn't remember
but
to
then
do
again,
a scorecard in the first place.
Yeah, I've been really bad about that the last couple episodes. But the thing with the best trap is like, it took me a minute, and I'm glad that I looked up the fandom wiki for it to be like, oh, there were quite a few of them in here.
Yeah.
But what was yours?
Mine had to be Reverse Bear Trap because
that's what I put too.
Yeah,
I put the iconic because it's what
you most associate Saw with. It makes a comeback, I think, more than once. And it's the only one you really get to enjoy. I mean, I suppose you could say the bathroom.
Yeah.
Technically, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
but,
that is a trap.
Yeah, but the rest of them,
Or test.
the candle thing, the razor wire.
Razor wire is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, but
they're not iconic. They're not.
No,
they're not
and
what
they're
you think
so
of.
quick. You don't really get to. I don't want to use the word savor or enjoy, but it's.
You do.
But I will. There's no. You don't get to live with them at all.
Right.
You don't see the whole thing play out and really get to invest in it. It's just like
as you will with a lot of the other ones later on, because
Yeah.
they do start to focus more on like showing you
the
what,
weird, crazy shit they've come up with this time.
Like the one that I always think about later on is with the detective, where she gets strung up on the rib separator and then it throws it out, and the rib wings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's brutal.
It really is.
The freezing one is pretty brutal. Pretty much
Oh my
everything in
God, yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the freezing one's 3 though.
I get what you mean though. That little arc, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some brutal ones coming up that eventually, hopefully, we'll get to.
I'm sure we will, man. Like, I don't see us stopping this anytime soon.
Oh, yeah.
Successful or not.
Yeah, and sooner or later we'll start delving into sequels once we pop
We'll
out
do
a couple
sequels,
of firsts.
and we're working on a format to do TV shows and other. So we're not just doing horror movies, and so
Yeah,
if there's a TV show that you want to talk about, let us know how you'd want us to talk about it.
Yeah.
If
if there's a good one you want us to do something like this with, we'll do it. If there's a shitty one, we've talked about a way to do shitty horror movies too, where we just review them and Mr. Science Theater them a little bit.
Yeah, we thought about doing that. We were talking about potentially making September be our purely listener suggestion month, just because we've already had 2. And I mean, we have 3 episodes in September. We've had 2 of them suggested to us already.
Yeah. So if there's something that you want us to do, let us know, and we
might even give you guys precedent over the people at work, just because you guys are actually putting in the effort, opposed to being like, "Hey, we don't listen to your show, but we want you to
do
you
this,
should
so
talk
we might
about
listen."
this." Yeah, I'm looking
People
at you.
at work.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, desk mate. And
He won't listen to this. So
no,
it's
he's
fine.
not. We're not talking about Poltergeist.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, I'm definitely going iconic bear trap on that.
Yeah. So that's it. That is Saw.
Thank you for
better
slogging
or
through it,
worse.
man. We definitely didn't mean to almost go 2 hours on this one.
No, but I was going pretty in depth with notes, so I was fearing that it would.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't bother me. It seems like the longer episodes, people tend not to listen to as much. So
Oh, we'll see.
yeah, if like I said, also please let us know. You like shorter? You like longer? We'll tighten it up.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
can
We
jo-
don't
we
know
can-
unless you tell us,
Yeah,
so we're
we
just
can-
kind of rambling.
We can cut out a lot of the jibba jab. I mean, a third of the episode is us just talking shit to each other, which
Yeah.
is my favorite part, to be honest with you.
Sure.
But yeah, so yeah,
That's it. So
That's
we
it.
need to get your pick for the next one because only I know what it is.
yeah, we kind of gave up on the whole like
Making it a
surprising,
mystery.
yeah, making it a mystery, because it's like it just makes it easier to plan if we know what the other person's doing. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, my next episode that we're gonna drop will be one of my favorites. Like, it's it's not your traditional style. So it should be interesting to cover, but it will be Leslie Vernon Behind the Mask.
And I've never seen it, and I always wanted to, so I'm excited for this one.
Like I watched this movie probably like 4 or 5 months ago. Like if you haven't seen it and you don't know anything about it, like I almost don't want to talk about it right now.
Yeah.
We'll just cut it. Yeah, if you don't
We've
know
ran
anything
long
about
enough
it,
as it is.
yeah. All right. Anyways, thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Facebook, Pod and Gore podcast. It's not hard to find. I'm on my phone all the time, so it's not hard to get a hold of us.
Yeah.
podandgore@gmail.com. Gore underscore. Look what you've done to me.
Turlet.
Poor underscore. Gore underscore pod on Instagram and Twits. And so, God damn it. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.